I find that the no meds day that I was really imposing on myself each weekend was not really serving me because it was forcing me back. I was forcing myself back into like struggling through things that really like were very much in the executive dysfunction category.
If I may jump in just so I'm understanding correctly. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel like you're someone who is you're loud and chaotic when you're sober, loud and chaotic when you're drunk as well. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, on that note, welcome to Sorry I'm Rambling, a podcast created by two chaotic geeks diagnosed with ADHD during adulthood. We are your hosts. My name is Jack. This is Emma.
Always loud and chaotic.
Always loud and chaotic. Mm-hmm. Today, we are continuing the discussion from a previous episode when we were talking about our experiences between taking a regular day off our meds or having a meds holiday every so often. Isn't that right?
Yep.
Specifically, what we want to touch on today, or what I want to touch on today, is a realization that happened in real time during the recording. See clip here.
You did.
I put see following clip here. Whoops. I'll add that later on, Jack.
Here.
Jack, make sure you add that later on.
Yeah. And I just struggle through the day.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Why do this to yourself?
We've come to an epiphany.
Yeah, we certainly have.
Therapy.
Thumbnail. Emma, you had a small epiphany.
Yeah.
When we last spoke about this, and I think you should tell us more, which I've named the episode, or the first segment, Emma's Epiphany.
Yeah.
Fuck, I fucking froth alliteration, bro. I swear to God, I froth alliteration. I really, really do. So, diving straight into segment one, could you briefly explain your previous... I'm going to do that again. Diving into segment one, could you briefly explain your previous no meds days habits, please?
Yes. Well, so I did write notes. I'm not going to use them.
No.
I think that best to do this one fresh.
Oh, fuck yeah.
My no meds days, because of how busy my schedule is, I would typically have a full weekend of doing stuff, and one of those days would just be unmedicated. We film on a weekend. I definitely take meds when we're filming.
Me too.
So the other day in the weekend would be left with all of the adulting that I'd need to do.
Copy that.
Food prep, laundry, cleaning the house, all the things. And so I would just do all of that unmedicated.
Would you say that you would do all of that, or you would try to do that?
Yes.
Unmedicated. Yeah, more accurately.
I would do something that I am still trying to break the habit of, which is either completely underestimate how much stuff I needed to get done in that day, or put so many things on the task list and not take into account that, 8 hours of a day is all you have.
You would put too many things on the to-do list.
Still do this all of the time.
All of the time.
Unmedicated. I would put all of those things on the to-do list.
Copy
and then
that.
spend all the day doing maybe one, two.
Right, yeah, I believe you. So long story short, you would have one no meds day per week.
Yeah.
And that would be a day filled with things that you needed to do.
Yeah.
Okay, copy that. And now I would like you to, could you briefly explain what the realization is during we'll do it again. Could you explain what the realization was that you had in real time during last week's recording?
So last week we recorded an episode talking about the difference between a no meds day and a no meds holiday. And at the end of the episode, we were talking about what we found was kind of working for us now, having been medicated for just over a year. And in real time, I kind of realized that I was imposing a rule on myself that I had to have one no meds day a week. And that self-imposed rule was not only affecting my consistency of mental health, but also like my physical health in a lot of ways. It was poorly impacting my sleep. It made me feel like my meds weren't really working as well sometimes during the week, and then better other times. Like I felt very unbalanced.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I think, would it be fair to say that part of that realization was you just kind of going, fuck, I actually don't think I need a no meds day every week?
No, I think the realization was fuck, this rule that I've made up. Why am I making this rule for myself? Why does it have to be one day off a week consistently?
Right, yeah,
when
gotcha.
it's not necessarily making me feel better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I think before we move on to the next section, I do think it's worth mentioning two things specifically. One, our doctor, who we have the same GP, she recommended to the both of us that it's a good idea, it's good practice to have at least one day off per week. Or
a lot of doctors do.
A lot of doctors do.
Yeah.
Or potentially having a drug holiday or a meds holiday every so often. And we both heard our doctor say that. And as most people do, you take what your medical professionals tell you and you often do it.
I am still very much a proponent of that. But
of course.
And I think that definitely led to a little bit this rule that I'd imposed on myself.
Yeah.
But I think that I was really trying to create this like regimented routine for myself and it just wasn't working.
Wasn't working. So totally. So the first thing, like I said, the two things to mention. The first one was that it's what our doctor told us to do, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And then secondly, when doing research for the episode, you discovered online that there is really no consensus among medical professionals whether we should or shouldn't have a regular no meds day.
Well, yeah, the long and the short of it is that there's a lot of discourse around whether or not a no meds day, a no meds holiday, can slow the build-up of a tolerance to the medication that we take. I think I had a little bit of an innate worry. Worrying?
Emma, a worrier? No way.
I was worrying that if I didn't take one day off a week, that I would start to build up a tolerance because I do metabolize these meds fast, pretty fast.
Yep.
They wear off faster than they should.
Yep.
And so I think that was part of the reason why
For sure.
I like imposed this rule on myself. But there's still a lot of research going on now that's suggesting maybe that's not the case. There's research that's suggesting that is the case. And all of that helped me to understand that I'm not a doctor. The research is what it is, like what's working for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally, and I think it's on that note, sort of piggybacking off everything you just said, one of the reasons I feel like there is so much discourse is because it is so hard to research. It is so personal to each person, right? Your body metabolizes the meds not completely differently, but different to me.
Yeah.
You know, some people can't process stimulants at all, right?
Yeah.
And I also will say I think it's worth mentioning that I also have that worry or fear of building a tolerance as well. It's why I like to be more strategic with the amount of Dexies that I have each day, if I have one at all. I don't want to build up a tolerance either. But again, how quickly does one build up a tolerance? Do we build up a tolerance at all? It's all kind of...
Research is still ongoing.
Research is still ongoing, and there's a lot of noise, and we didn't want to add to the noise. We still don't. Well, wonderful. Thank you for those explanations. So moving on to segment 2, which I've called practicality versus personal pressures and preferences. Fucking froth alliteration.
You really do.
So I have a question for you, and it's a bit of a long one. But bear with, and we can break it up into 2 parts if we need to.
Yeah.
So, Emma, have you noticed a difference in how you operate daily since this realization, or have you changed any habits since recording the episode and having the realization?
So let me caveat that. It has been a week.
This is true.
So only a small sample. But also, yes, I have.
Right.
I definitely have. I think that this week was a good kind of barometer to see whether or not just the realization alone has changed anything for me. Because within my day job, we just had a long weekend. A short week typically means more work, more like work stresses coming up, things like that. And I found that my emotional regulation was better this week. I also found that I was dealing with the like normal stresses of a short week better. And I think that it isn't necessarily that the fact that I didn't take a day off of my meds last weekend it probably helped. But I think the major thing that helped me to kind of stay balanced all week was not having the thought in the back of my mind of, maybe my meds aren't working. I should have taken a day off.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than my meds not working.
Gotcha. So, okay, I'm with you. So when you're feeling stressed and anxious during a day of work, while you're medded, you're feeling stressed and you're feeling anxious, there's part of your brain that is saying fuck, I'm feeling stressed and anxious. That must mean the meds aren't working. I've built up a tolerance. Right.
Yeah.
And if I had taken off this is why I need to have a no meds day.
Yeah.
It's because I'm building up a tolerance because I feel stressed and anxious.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
How fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Really,
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So my next question for you is since starting our meds, you've more or less pretty consistently had a no meds day nearly every week.
As much as I could,
As much as you could, yeah. I would say if we say per month, you probably have 2 to 3 no meds days per month.
Yeah.
You think that would be fair to say? But you've never had a meds holiday, is that correct?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so my question for you is, you and I, we're going to Bali in September.
Yep.
We're going for 5 days, thereabouts.
Business trip.
Business, yeah. It's a director's retreat. We're working.
Exactly.
Yeah. My question for you is, how do you feel about a meds holiday coming up in Bali?
So I've never really felt wobbly about just not having meds for a while. I think that I have no issue with like putting the meds down and just like leaving them at home, because I think that it's another way subconsciously for me to go, I'm cool with not doing life for a little while.
Tools down.
Yeah, tools down.
Tools down.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So to sort of summarize, you're not nervous or worried about a meds holiday at all?
No, not at all.
Fascinating.
Not at all. I think that because besides the laws of Indonesia, which is part of the reason why I'm having a no meds holiday, I find that the no meds day that I was really imposing on myself each weekend was not really serving me, because it was forcing me back. I was forcing myself back into like struggling through things that really were very much in the executive dysfunction category.
If I may jump in, just so I'm understanding correctly, you're probably about to say this. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the days that your no meds days. Okay, let me start again. Previously to being medicated, you struggled with things like meal prep, putting away laundry, and those sort of adulting, executively functional things. Meal prep and laundry, for example. On your no meds days, you were trying to force yourself to meal prep and to do laundry, which are two things you struggle with across the board. Even when you are medded, they don't push the dopamine button, and you're trying to force yourself into doing them while you're unmedicated. That's crazy work, man.
I was putting too much pressure on a no meds day.
Too much pressure on a no meds day. Yeah.
And all of that executive dysfunction and all the other things that I was, even though I'd been medicated all throughout the week, I understood what was happening. Just all of that extra like stress was leading to my meds having to kind of bring me further up to baseline once I started taking them again on Monday.
I have 2 questions for you. One's a follow-up for the Bali thing, which we'll circle back to. But while we're on the topic of let's say meal prep, for example, being something that you don't necessarily enjoy and have always struggled with, fair to say?
Yeah.
My question for you is, one, do you still put all of your meal prep on a single day?
Yeah, because I don't really have time otherwise. Like if I'm doing it on a work day, then I'll like get to the end of the work day. It's, if I'm lucky, early afternoon, maybe a little bit between 4 and 5. And at that time I'm like, I don't want to spend time in the fucking kitchen now. I have other shit that I want to do. Gets to dinner time.
Fair. Makes sense.
And my meds are gone by that point.
This might be a skosh of a conversation that we should have later, perhaps on it could be really fascinating to have it on camera. But what if I were to make a suggestion? I often, when I'm working from home, and I know that our schedules and what we do from home and blah blah blah, all that's completely different. But let's say, for example, when you break for lunch on a regular work day, provided that it's a normal enough day that you get a lunch break.
Yeah.
What if you were to, you have your lunch that you prepped early in the week. What if you were to like get a bag of broccoli, open it up, salt, pepper, garlic, olive oil, put it in the oven, and then at least that's one portion of your meal prep done.
I have done that before.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that something you could potentially, it just didn't work for you?
No, because then I'd just have like some broccoli.
Well,
I
do.
Like it's one of those things that like if I'm going to meal prep, I need to do all of that task in one go. Right. Otherwise it just gets really disorganized. Gotcha. And I will have all of the veg cut up and ready to go, and then that veg will just sit in the fridge for a bit.
Yeah,
or
right,
I just need to kind of lock in and get that task done.
Gotcha.
Rather than breaking it up. I wish I could do it that way.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I think there is just like it's a difference between you and I in how we operate. It's a little off topic, but like I do meal prep in portions, so to say. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there are days where it's just like I start doing something. It's like, oh well, I might as well do the rest of this thing. But like throughout the week, if I'm just like at home and I've got an hour to do before, I've got an hour to do something, or like I'm going to play video games for a little amount of time, I will just put the broccoli in the oven. Yeah. Comes out, then I'll freeze it straight away, and then like 2 days later, I'll cook the sweet potato. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Anywho, then my other question about Bali was, do you think that you would feel different about a meds holiday if you were going anywhere other than Bali? Because I want to point out, when we are going, we're going to a resort for 5 days to not do much at all, really. But if you were going, moving through like Japan like I did over the course of a month, do you think you would still feel the same about a meds holiday?
Yes, I do, because I think that you and I are pretty similar in that all the pressure of like everyday life just doesn't happen when you're traveling.
Yeah.
I've done a lot. I'm a pretty experienced traveler. I've done a lot of travel in my life, and being unmedicated, I've never gone traveling medicated. So being unmedicated while traveling doesn't really faze me. I think that it's more meeting my own expectations that I am setting on myself a lot of the time for everyday adult life.
Copy that.
Does tend to make the ADHD come out a little more.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's one of the few areas of ADHD where we are extraordinarily similar, in that our ADHD seemingly doesn't seem to get in the way of our ability to travel effectively and efficiently.
I think that there will probably be some bits of going traveling unmedicated like symptoms that will pop up again that I can't lean on my meds for. Like my sleep will probably get a little weird while I'm traveling, because my sleep's gotten much better since I've been medicated.
It's fascinating.
And I do find after a no meds day, my sleep is a bit fucked. For like the day that I don't take my meds that night, I don't have a very good sleep.
Craziness. Yeah. I am the other way around.
Yeah. And things like that, things like intrusive thoughts, like RSD, stuff like that will just inevitably pop up because I'm not medicated. But that's okay. I'm on holiday,
Yeah. You don't have the, like you said, the pressures of everyday life weighing you down when you're on holiday.
I'll have work that I'll still have to do, but like in the morning every now and then. But that's not I don't have to sit in the office all day and also pay bills and clean my house and all the other things.
Yeah, truly. No, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so moving on to my final question for you. Have you got any idea what this is going to mean for you moving forward?
I think that it would the epiphany that I had last week, I think it's just been another step forward in me going from, I think I said this to you over text and I don't know whether or not it made any sense, but it feels like I've taken another step away from that like fake it till you make it kind of place that I've been in for a really long time. Want
to jump in for a moment. I remember reading that and thinking,
what does it mean?
What does that mean? So did it make sense? Maybe to you, but explain it a little more for us.
I feel like a lot of the time I am existing and barely functioning, but putting off a vibe of I'm fine,
right?
Yeah. And I think that rather than pretending in one way or another that I am fine, letting go, acknowledging that I have put this rule on myself, and then going, I don't need to do that anymore, and feeling fine about it, and not having any moments of, oh, I've done a wrong thing. I think that has released me, for lack of a better phrase, of being in that space a little more. Taking one step forward more to just actually being authentically like fine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you that I've just thought of in real time. So for those that haven't listened to previous episodes or haven't made it clear or whatever, I don't do regular no meds days.
Yeah.
I play it by ear, and if a day happens upon me, or I start to get the feeling that I need a day off my meds, then I will plan it 2 or 3 weeks in advance.
Which is what I would like to try doing.
Which I think you'll be able to do.
Yeah.
And my question for you is, when I plan my no meds day, I basically give myself unconditional permission to just do nothing on that day. I don't overload myself. Do you think that, will you approach a no meds day differently given what you've realized in the last 2 weeks?
I think I am moving closer to approaching everything differently, because as much as I say I can unconditionally like accept my own brain and my own behavior for what it is and understand what it is, there is absolutely moments where there's a little gremlin voice in the back of my mind saying the opposite thing. And so going into a no meds day, giving myself unconditional permission to do whatever fucking feels good in the moment, I would like to move more to, I think I am moving more towards doing that authentically rather than going, I'm going to do this and just like fake it until it feels normal.
Yeah, I totally feel you.
And acknowledging that having a regular no meds day is a self-imposed rule. Is I feel like a first step forward in doing something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do think you will get better at saying, I'm going to have a no meds day, and I'm going to make sure that I don't overload myself on that no meds day.
Yeah.
And if there's anything that I need to do that's like critical, I will make sure that I either do it the day before or the day after. I feel like you're going to get really good at that with this current line of thinking realization. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even down to earlier this week, I think I said to you, I was having a moment of RSD or something, and then went, oh no, it's just because my meds haven't kicked in yet. Catching those kinds of thoughts and feelings, and not just clinically acknowledging them, but also going, hey, it's fine.
Absolutely.
And genuinely feeling that way, not just saying, hey, it's fine. I think that is the first step that I really did take, having that realization.
Fascinating.
Because I don't feel bad about not having a no meds day.
Nor should you.
And I understand that. Logically I understand that.
Sorry guys. Nor should you.
You had an Emma moment there.
I did have an Emma moment. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that I think that I kind of the biggest step forward that I made was
incredible.
Not authentically not feeling bad about it. I get that you don't need to feel bad about it. I believe that, but authentically feeling that way and not having any kind of internal gremlin going, but you should though.
Wow. But you should though. Yeah. Well, Muzzle Top, that's incredible. Oh, so good. Any final bits you'd like to say or like to add?
It's a journey.
It's certainly do be a journey.
It's a journey. We've been going down this road for over a year.
We have been.
It will always be a bit of a journey. But
absolutely,
it's nice to not be putting rules on yourself.
Oh, my word, absolutely. Especially when there's no real concrete evidence to prove at this point in time, potentially at this point in time, that's something you should be doing.
Yeah.
You know? And same for everyone else out there.
Yeah.
Don't feel pressure to have a no meds day. If you feel like you need your meds on a day that you are going to have a no meds day, that's okay.
And if you're not sure, talk to your doctor.
Did that question make sense? Did that statement make sense? What did I say?
I was really listening.
You fucking mole. Anywho, on that note, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you do all the liking and the subscribing and send it to your mum and your mother-in-law and your doctor who told you to have a no meds day. Ask them what they think. And on top of that, please be kind to your brain because you only get one.
You do.
You do.
You do.
Bye.
Bye.
Important disclaimer. We are not medical or mental health professionals. Any discussion about ADHD, medication, side effects, or psychological effects is based solely on our personal experiences. This podcast is not intended to give medical advice, diagnose conditions, or recommend treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before starting, stopping, or changing any medication or treatment plan. We are just three goofy goblins on the internet.